Hello, welcome to our first live stream guitar lesson. My name is Stephen from the Murphy School of Music, and England has now entered into a second lockdown, so we've decided to take some of our teaching back onto line and share it with the world as well. So wherever you're watching in the world, please let us know in the comments below. Let us know where you're watching and also what guitars you're playing on today. So today, we are going to be looking at the new song from the Foo Fighters. They released a song this week called Shame, Shame, and it's great to have some new music to listen to, especially from a band such as the Foo Fighters. And it's great to hear. It's different. This is not one of the usual Foo Fighters tracks we would normally hear. They even said in interviews this week that they were trying to go for a different approach, and they've certainly done that. If you listen to the track, it's as they say, a bit more dance-orientated grooves, which we can hear on those drums and how the guitars follow them as well. So we're going to dive into the guitar parts today and look at the main parts to what Dave Grohl, Chris and Pat are playing in these parts, and we can learn them ourselves. Now I'm going to link down below later on some links so you can get access to the sheet music and the tabs to what we're learning today as well, so you can learn these after the lesson as well, and keep reminding yourself how to play them until you've memorized them. So we'll look into the guitar parts first of all. Now there are two or as we know in the Foo Fighters, there are three guitarists going on, but they did this live on Saturday Night Live. I think it was last week they did this, and we can see what parts they're playing then, which was good to see. Dave Grohl actually didn't play during the verses so much on this when he was doing it live. We just saw Chris and Pat playing live. The two parts going on an acoustic guitar. We had Chris playing that, and then the Pat Smear playing on the electric guitar as well. So we're looking, it's a very simple riff actually. It's really nice to play. And then there's a few chords just for the chorus section itself, which we'll look at as well. So on this, we can hear that already straight away. They're played on beat 1 and beat 2 of the bar. So we'd have 1, 2, and then beat 3 and beat 4 of the bar. We actually don't play anything. It's just a rest for those two parts there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first bar. The second bar we're looking at for this riff, we're going to play an A note, a B note, and back to our G note. And the timing of this, we're going to be playing on beat 1, be playing the A note. Beat the and of 1, we'd be playing the B note, which is fret. I'm going to play it on fret 2 of the A string. And then we'd be playing the G note, which is fret 3 of the E string again, and that'll be played on beat 2. So we'd have 1 and 2. So putting both bars together, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Again, beat 2, or bar 2 rather, we'd have a rest on beat 3 and beat 4 again. I'll do that again so we can follow along. We'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. That's the main part of this song. Now, as I said, there's a couple of guitars going on during this part. It looks like, from watching their live performance, Chris Shiflett playing the acoustic guitar, he does the A as a power chord, just using his first and third fingers. In other words, using the A note and using the E note for the fifth of that, and then moves down to the G. Same thing there, same power chord shape, using the first finger for the G note and the third finger for the D note there. So we'd start off that doing, and then joins in for the second part of the riff. Just the same, and it looks like Pat Smear is just playing the individual note to that. A, G, and then second bar, same thing, A, B, G. So that's what it looks like they're playing with that. Obviously, it's a different sound for the Foo Fighters, this. It sounds like, if you've watched any of their previous documentaries or how they make their tracks, it sounds like the overdubs they do on their tracks. And then usually they'd have some big guitar chords underneath that, but they haven't done that in this song, which is quite interesting from them, and it's great to hear. So it sounds like they're just doing those overdubs and skipped out all the chord sections. Obviously, if you listen to the song, we hear violins and string sections playing along in this as well. But from the guitar point of view, we've just got that for the verse. A, G, A, B, G, which is a really nice part to play. So that loops round and round. We'd have. Now, obviously, when we hear them play it, they add in a couple more things, which we're going to add in now. After we've done our first A, G, 1, 2, instead of just playing A, B, and then G, he slides into the A, it sounds like. So we've got, I'll speed it up a little bit of tempo. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then repeats that round and round. That slide makes a big difference to it there. We can hear that when we listen to the track. Adding it into our own playing as well makes a big difference and sounds really good when we do that. So there's our verse part. Like I say, really simple. We can start playing that straight away. As I said, I will put the links to the tabs and sheet music down below as well, so that we can you can look at these afterwards and see exactly what they're doing, exactly all the timing of each note. So we've got our verse. Then we've got our second part to this, the chorus section of our song. Now, listening to the album track, we don't really hear much guitar on this. It's much more string-based, this part. We can hear that bass guitar playing out, but we don't really hear the guitars on this. However, again, looking at their live version, they do come in with their guitars. Obviously, they're not just going to be standing around on stage doing nothing. So very simple section as well. We're going to do 4 chords for this. It's a 4-bar pattern. We're doing an A minor chord first of all, then a G major chord, then an F major chord, and finally a D major. They're the 4 chords they use for this pattern. Now, if you've been playing for a little while, I'm sure you're comfortable with rhythm. Go ahead, add your rhythm to this, play it straight away. For those of you who are just starting out with a guitar, I'm going to keep this really simple from a rhythm point of view. We're going to do 1 strum on beat 1, and then we'll just do 1 strum on beat 2, we'll strum on beat 3 and beat 4 as well. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very relaxed, almost, this part of the song from the chords point of view. It's not very fast. It's very chilled out. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, I want to be doing more with my rhythm, but I'll keep it stripped back just for this lesson today. Obviously, as you get more advanced in your playing, or if you are already more advanced in your playing, you will be adding more strums to that, no doubt. Also, you'll be probably adding variations to your strumming. You'll hear me say this if you're one of my students, or if you've watched any videos on our channel, you'll know I say this a lot. But when we listen to music, we generally don't just hear a 1-bar rhythm repeated over and over and over. Generally, throughout the song, perhaps even each bar to bar, the guitarist will be changing their rhythm, just slight variants into that rhythm each time. We might have a main theme to our rhythm that's being repeated. However, again, we'd hear little variations going through the bar. It's much more natural when we hear that. We generally don't just hear that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very wooden if we were to just do that. So we'd be adding a bit more and no. So we hear different rhythms added to each bar, perhaps there. Now I'm doing those just on the open chords, the A minor, the G, the F, and the D. Again, there's 3 guitarists in the Foo Fighters. They don't all play in the same position. They might have one doing it in the open position, and then perhaps the other 2 doing them in 2 different versions of the barred positions. So we get some mix of tonality there from the 3 different guitarists rather than all just coming out with that same rhythm in the same position, so the tones are all exactly the same. We really want to diversify that, mix it up a bit, especially when you're in a band with 3 guitarists. You've got that option to do lots of different things there. So again, if I were to play this, I would probably stick with my A minor as the open, but then go into my G, into a bar chord, F, especially the F into a bar chord. We want a much more fuller sound with that F chord. And then the D, I probably would go to a bar chord on the 5th string of the A string there, sorry, 5th fret of the A string, go to the D. If I were to do that, it would sound virtually the same from a chord point of view, but a tonality point of view, it does sound different. I'll show you what I mean. So same chords, just a slight different tonality there. So if we start to put all of that together now, I'll repeat the verse a few times so we can hear what that will sound like, and then I'll go into the chorus and I'll repeat that. I'll repeat the verse 4 times, and then I'll repeat the chorus 4 times as well, and so we can hear those 2 parts working together there. Okay, I'm going to take it up to roughly the tempo of the song as well. We'll do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So very nice, simple guitar parts going on from the Foo Fighters there. Something that if you are just recently starting with your guitar journey, you probably pick that song up quite quickly, and it is quite fun to play. It's very straightforward to play. It's one you could probably start playing along with the track fairly soon as well. Now, I will also link below a link to a backing track for this, just the drum part, so you can play along with that drum part, so you can really work on your timing. Learning notes is one thing, learning the chords is one thing. However, our timing is just as important as to learning those things as well. If we get the timing wrong, it's going to sound awful. So I'll link below a link to that backing track, and I'll also, as I say, put the tabs and sheet music below as well, so that you can see it written down and get used to reading guitar music that way, and also so you can have that as a copy for yourself as well, and you can play along with. Now, extremely simple song. I suggest start playing that straight away, and start playing along with the tracks as well. Now, we hope you've enjoyed this lesson. I hope people have been listening. Don't forget, if you're not already, please do hit the like and subscribe buttons. We post lots of tutorials on this channel to do with guitar, learning different techniques and different songs on the guitar, but also with singing as well. We post many tutorials each week. So if you want to find out more, go ahead, check out our YouTube channel, look at some previous videos, but also hit that notification button so you can be kept up to date as well. Keep safe. Hopefully, we'll see you soon.